What's up, everybody? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined today by Triple C himself, Henry Cejudo. And you may be asking yourself, why? Why am I talking to Henry Cejudo? Because there's never a bad time to talk to Henry Cejudo. And plus, I just miss the guy. Look at him. Look at him. He can't go too long without talking to Henry Cejudo and getting his thoughts on everything going on in mixed martial arts. Henry, how we doing?
It's the king of the cringe, man. Enjoy my retirement, Brett. I mean, it's great to be king.
It is. It is. Why is it so great? What are you up to lately? What's
I'm up to everything, man. Did you not see me with Canelo Alvarez yesterday trolling? You know, yeah. The exchange of words about me and Ryan Garcia. I mean, there's the reason why I'm enjoying retirement because there's so many options for me, Brett. Like, it's crazy. I'm doing real estate. I'm the co-host for the Mike Tyson podcast. I've done already things. I've done a lot of things for ESPN on Sports Center, and it's just different pieces. I mean, I'm being free, man, as a bird. I'm enjoying how these guys continue to keep killing each other until the king returns.
Oh, until the king returns. So is that inevitable at this point? Will the king return at some point?
Well, the king will only return if the price is right, man. Because everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price of gold, and that's it, man. When it's right, when I feel like it's right, it's the golden rule. The guy with the gold makes the rule. But when I feel like it's right, Triple C will be back.
Well, let me ask you this. You're still watching fights, apparently. You were tweeting a couple Saturdays ago during the bantamweight title fight, Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan. And you said that you were upset. I saw some, because you ended up apologizing to Aljamain Sterling. You felt like you were a little hard on him, given the circumstances that happened in that fight. But you said that you were just upset. You were emotional. I'm wondering, why are you upset? Why is Henry Cejudo watching the fights on a Saturday? And
because you know why? Because I want the babysitter to babysit my belt. And I just don't feel like Aljamain Sterling will do a good job at it. That's why I was a little upset. But in reality, even with Aljamain Sterling, like I felt like I kind of, I woke up literally at 6 a.m. thinking about it. This is how pathetic I am. Or at least in that situation. I woke up at 6 a.m. thinking about him and posted that picture of him winning the Academy Award, or what is it, the best Oscar. But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I cannot be hating on this dude because this guy made a business decision. And at the end of the day, a winner finds a way to win. And if you got to take it like that, then you know what? I can't. So before I was saying like he wasn't the bantamweight champion of the world, but in reality, he is. Petr the Ugly Potato Yan threw an illegal knee, knowing that the dude was on his knees, and hurt him. I mean, if I was losing the fight too, guess what? Triple C will do the exact same thing because now I have a cheat sheet of what I should do or what I should work on. So if Aljamain Sterling was right, he would completely change and make those adaptations and possibly even win the fight in the rematch. So you know what? I'm gonna have to give him a high five for Best Academy Award winning, Best Actor, Best Picture, because you absolutely did an amazing job, Aljamain Sterling Silver.
So you think that was a decision on Aljo's part, that he milked it and that he wanted out of there? You don't think that knee hurt him that physically badly that thing should have just been a wrap, like no questions asked?
Yeah, the only reason why I say it wouldn't, but again, I'm not mad at him no more. And this is the same reason why I apologize, Brett. Is for that same reason, knowing that the dude threw an illegal strike. I mean, nobody's on Petr the Ugly Potato Yan. Like, he's done that before. He actually did that to a teammate of mine in Natal, Brazil. Look it up. Look up the name by an ABC by the name of Mateus. What's the apelido de Mateus, cara? Mateus Matos. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mateus Matos. Look that up on YouTube. The exact same thing. The dude acts like he's stupid, like he's deaf or whatever, or he's dumb, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a little punk, if you ask me.
Why do you think he did that? If what you're saying is true and he knows what he's doing, he has to know that there's going to be some consequences.
Because he thinks it's ACB. He thinks the world revolves around him, and that's not the case. The world revolves around me, Brett.
Yes. Well, it was funny that this fight happens, and then a couple days later, you show up staring in a stare down with Aljamain Sterling. How did that happen?
I'll be honest with you, that was just happily random having to happen. I was with my Moroccan brothers and with Ali and everybody. We're all chilling at the lobby, and all of a sudden I see Aljamain, this big ass fro, walking by with like 10 people, and it was kind of weird for me at first, and I kind of felt for him, and I didn't apologize to him in person. when I saw him, I just gave them some advice. Because at the end of the day, Brett, that's not my, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made the right decision. Whether everybody wants to believe it or not, I mean, he's going to get a second crack at the belt. And who knows, maybe second time's a charm.
Yeah, well, and just to throw it out there, I don't even think that he should have needed to make a decision. I mean, he got hit with a knee. The doctor comes in, looks at him and says, of course, we're not going to restart this fight. I don't even think that he should be in a position where he's having to make a decision of, can you continue, can you not continue? I mean, any fighter is going to probably say, I want to continue, right? So it puts him in a completely, it's just a situation, I feel like, if you put it.
Well, this is the difference, Brett. I'm going to have to disagree with you. Yep. And you're right. The majority of all fighters will say yes, but not the majority of all competitors. And that's the difference. If I was losing the fight, I would actually pull the same Aljamain Sterling, because to me, it is all about winning. And I am the greatest winner that's ever stepped in that damn octagon and in sports. It's almost like this, Brett. It's like if Michael Jordan was to go, as he did, into baseball and then win a World Series ring. Mm-hmm. It's like if LeBron James was to go into football and win a Super Bowl ring. Nobody has done that. I've done it in 2 sports. So what I'm saying is it's all about winning. Aljamain Sterling, man, I give you a high five. I salute you, you ugly dirtbag.
When you're watching that fight at UFC 259, you miss it at all? Like you looking at it like that's your division. You know, you say you're still the king of it. Is there any emotion tied to like watching 2 other guys fight for a championship that you believe is still, you know, yours at heart?
I'll be honest with you, no, not really. I really don't miss it. The only thing is I'm great at it. I'm good at it. I'm just a great competitor, man. Like whether it can be in anything. But none of those guys really appetize me like they really don't. I wish they did. You know, I wish there was a Demetrius Johnson there, because then it'll be something for me to look forward to. Think about it, Brett. An Olympic gold medal, 2 UFC belts. I'd be 3 Hall of Famers, man, to receive and to defend my 3 belts. Demetrius Johnson, TJ Dillashaw, and Dominique Cruz. I mean, think about it. Who is the greatest champ? Please don't tell me it's Conor. Please. Anyways, what I'm saying is I'm fully satisfied with my career. I'm full. There's no chip on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. You know, these belts will always remain my baby. If somebody actually does it right, they get married, you know, and they're it's like, dude, you're about to give yourself to, you know, to do just one person. But it's the same thing in fighting. Struggling with this. Hey, hold on, bro. Let me finish, man. It's the same thing in fighting. There's a purity when you leave on top. And you're just, there's like, you're just unblemished, to say the least. Mm-hmm. So there's satisfaction in me. And there are some fights that kind of really tug at me.
There are some fights that sort of tug at you.
Yeah. And who do you think it is?
I mean, we talked about what happened in 135. Let's talk about what's going to happen a week from now in the next UFC pay-per-view. Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. Is that what you're referring to? That's a fight that interests you?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But I know Alexander Volkanovski is going to win. He's too solid on his feet. And people don't talk about how hard it is to fight short people, smaller limbs. The target is just different. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with this overgrown baboon, he knows how to use that. He's just a lot more solid. I'm going for Ortega, but this overgrown baboon, I know he's going to win. He's only about a couple inches taller than me, too. Mm-hmm. So I love that fight. But it's not just that, too, Brett. And I've never really, and nobody's really kind of taking this into consideration. Even somebody like Max Holloway, I have never called out Holloway. Look at any video that I've actually called out Holloway. Even when he had the belt, I have never called out Max Holloway until, you know what I'm saying? But he's another fight that I feel like in the future, I would love to fight. Because one, people would not believe me that I could beat him because he's so damn tall and what he's been able to do with a lot of these people. And then 2, man, I love the challenge. I love the fact that people did not believe I could beat him. Yeah. You know, I have never trolled Max Holloway. I have never called him out until now. What I'm saying is I think that Max Holloway fight, because nobody would believe me, is the same reason why I would want that fight. He's taller than me. He's inflicted a lot more damage on different people. But I feel like I'm just too smart. I'm too skilled. And I love the challenge if I was to ever fight Max Holloway.
Wow. So to fight Volkanovski, the motivation there would be, you know, he's good, of course, but would it be a third championship? But to fight Max, it would be what you just described, that the people would be counting you out before the fight even started.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's both. But the more I think about it too, is I would love for Max to win that belt again. And I would love, because I know Max would be the guy, hey, I want to shut that dude's mouth up, you know? And at the end of the day, Brett, you know what I am? I'm just a competitor, man. Like, I go out and I try to push my mind, body, my spirit into the unknown territory. I don't dare to be great, as a lot of these people say. I am freaking great. I go out there and I actually conquer it. I'm not daring myself. I am great. And the difference between daring to be great and being great are two different things. You can dare all you want, but then you have the greats. You have the greats that go in there and they get the damn job done. So the dare to be great freaking comment makes me absolutely sick.
I like this, man. I wasn't expecting a Max Holloway call out. What would that fight look like? What do you think would be the challenges? Where do you think your advantages would be? Break that fight down a little bit.
I think my IQ. I think my smartness. Of course, he has a range, but it would be the distance. This is the thing, man. Watch my Dominic Cruz fight and look at how much taller he is than me, and look at how I was able to manage the distance, taking his legs out, the timing portion of it. I think it's just my IQ. You know, I came up with this theory of how I became successful, and I call it the art of war, where I connect the mind, body, science all together. Like, I'm literally calculating, like I'm a whole next level things where I'm able to make it into a trinity with the mind, body, science, and making sure that they're all working into one, having the right team. I personally feel that there's no doubt in my mind that I could beat him, but it's just kind of getting the opportunity and the shot. But that's, again, the Alexander Volkanovski or the Max Holloway fight would really be the ones that call my name, because those are the two fights that people wouldn't believe, at least in mixed martial arts, they don't believe that I could win, especially that Max Holloway fight. So I would love for Max Holloway to win that bout again, and I would love to go in there and fight him and to demonstrate to the world how great Triple C is. I don't dare to be great. I am damn great.
You think the UFC would get on board with that?
I think so.
I haven't really been interested in you going.
No, I think so, and I think so, and I think somebody like Max Holloway is like, hey man, I want to hurt this kid. Where Alexander Volkanovski is more like, is that little twerp? Is he still talking? Max Holloway would be like, hey man, this is time for me, and I like that. I personally like the fact that I'll be a huge underdog, but the ones that truly know me be like, dude, I got all my money on Cejudo, ABC. And at the end of the day, to me, it all goes back to tactics. I can beat anybody in the world. I truly do believe that, and I've demonstrated that. I've been an underdog for so many fights, and I've proven so many people wrong. You may not like me, but you definitely do have to respect me.
The pathway to that fight, do you think it would be, you said Volkanovski beats Ortega, and then you think obviously they run the trilogy because of how Max looked in his last fight, and then
you would have to, but I would even put, but even on top of those two matches, I think the toughest matches for both of those guys is probably Zabit. The 140, but he hasn't demonstrated to go 5 rounds. So that's the only thing that's skeptical with Zabit, is because he does throw a lot of power. That when you throw a lot of power, man, you end up emptying the tank. That's the same thing with my fight with Marlon Moraes. You throw too much power, and if a guy can take and have resistance, you're gonna get burnt. You see? So I feel like Zabit and Max have to fight, and the winner of that needs to fight Alexander, the average, for the title.
Okay, well, that's some Henry Cejudo matchmaking for you. I like it. In the meantime, is there anything in 135 that could get your attention, or is it just it really is 145?
No, I would love to. Yeah, if there's anything 135 pounds that would really get my attention, it would be to fight. And check this out, Brett, is to fight Aljamain Sterling and to fight Petr Yan at the same time. Like, literally, like, change them out. Like, have Peter round 1, Sterling round 2, Peter round 3. Aljamain round 4, and then at the same time, but between the rounds, like, fight them both, maybe at the same time, and take them both out and make them both bend the knee to King Triple C.
See, does everybody see? This is why I got to call the guy up and talk to him, even though he says he's retired. Hey, speaking of retirement, last thing, because I'll let you go because that was a great way to end it. But I got to ask you one more thing before I let you go. You were just in Vegas hanging out with Khabib, and as 2 retired greats, I just was wondering what the conversation is like, what you guys talked about. And we've laid out the options of you potentially coming back after seeing the man himself. Do you think he'll ever fight again?
Yeah, no, Khabib ain't coming back. Just talking to a Khabib ain't coming back. They know why give him $1 billion. He ain't coming back, man. At least that's what I sensed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more on that edge than he is. At first I was like, this dude is coming back. But then I spoke to him and I talked to him just like, yeah, he is so far off what people think he's at. Like he's probably in the same boat that I'm at. Like, and I told Khabib, I'm like, when I saw him, I was like, Khabib, he's like, Henry, when are you coming back? I'm like, Khabib. And I says, listen, man, with all due respect, yeah, I'm not 29-0, but my credentials are greater than yours, man. An Olympic gold medal, 2 UFC belts. I defended both my belts. I says, this is all I want, my brother, from the UFC. And he's like, that's it? And they don't want to give you that? He's like, dude, I thought you were even making more. I'm like, no. I was like, that's it. But I'm not in your position, Khabib, and this is how the media works, dude. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing should all be based on numbers. So when I showed him, he was like, man, he's like, I 100% understand you, man. And I'm like, thank you, Khabib. So it has nothing to do with me being scared. It's all about the money, man. I want the money. If I don't have the money, man, I'm satisfied with what I've done with my fighting career. And the thing is Brett, I'm extremely thankful with the UFC and Dana White. Like I really am. But my legacy right now, if it's gonna be tainted by any means, or if I have to do anything, it's got to make sense financially.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate the time, man. It sounds like the situation has just continued to be what it was. You're willing to come back if something interests you, and the money is right. So hopefully something does interest you, and hopefully the money is right, because I personally would love to see you fight again. But if not, you're right. Your legacy is more than set. So thank you for the time, Triple C. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, I would love to leave my fans with this message to all my beautiful fans out there, that you guys can all bend the knee to King Triple C. Triple C's out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.